Hello, welcome to Try Anime. This is going to be a 2-week roundup of the releases on amiami from the 24th of Jan. I lost the page for the 23rd of Jan, so unfortunately don't have those. So hopefully, I'm not feeling too well at the moment. So this is going to be a bit of a quick, more roundup for this one, with 2 weeks worth of pre-orders. Ones at least of note worth possibly looking at if you want to pre-order them. So we shall start now. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, The First Kiss Never Ends, Ai Hayakasaka bunny version, 1/4 scale figure pre-order from Freeing, 33,000. So Freeing are doing obviously a lot more. They're just rounding off the characters that are available in bunny suits, so you're always going to see more of these figures. Haven't watched Kaguya-sama's from Kaguya-sama Love is War, so I'm not too familiar with them. But this is a very basic Freeing bunny figure, so pretty much you're going to get what you pay for. The price has gone up to 33,000. Seems to be the new common now. Common starting point of Freeing figures. It's just simple. If you like this character, and you like bunny girls, or you want to expand your bunny girl collection and maybe get her, it's not something I'm interested in. But yeah, very plain. There's not much else to go on about really with her. Arknight's Chen Spring version, 1/7 scale figure by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. This is an Arknight's figure. I don't play the games, so I'm not so familiar with it. It looks like the lanterns. I guess it's to do with the Chinese New Year or Spring Festival, so it's to do with the Spring Festival. So it's got the lanterns. It's a very nice figure actually overall. The colours are what pop on this figure. So I quite like it. If you're big into Arknights and you like this this figure, then I'll get it. I'm not a bit. I don't collect Arknights figures, but she looks very nice. And for 18,980 yen from 23,000, it's actually quite a good value for what you're getting. There's a lot of detail. It's Good Smile, so the quality is should be there. The shading looks pretty good overall as well. You've got the good shading on the legs and tights, and on the this silk wrap as well going around. It looks very nice. I don't know if the lantern is included and can be lit up. Main base. Figures very similar to the one. Does not come with a light bulb. Please install commercially available bulb, so you'll have to get that in the lantern. Part of the use, yeah. So you'd have to buy that and install a light bulb separately into the lantern if you want this cool effect, which would be quite nice on a display, especially if you get her with the other Arknights figure. Arknight's Nian Spring version, 1/7 scale by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Again, this one looks very nice if you're into Arknights. She's not as good as Shen, but she's a bit more plain in terms of the colours. Obviously, there's a lot more oranges and there's whites and greens compared to the blues and reds or oranges on Shen. So I think Shen looks a bit better. Same price, 18,980 yen. Release 24th Jan 24. So if you're big into Arknights, I'll get the pair, and you want to add the LEDs bulbs into the lanterns, then you can. You do have to do that yourself, as mentioned in Shen, but it does look quite nice to add that, especially if you're going to put them on display in a detolf or do a diorama base or backdrop for them in a display. It look quite good, especially at night when you got your lights off for them. So that looks quite good actually overall. There's 2 figures there for a pretty good price these days, considering with figure prices going up. Namator made Cafe Yui-chan 1/6 scale by Pink Charm, 24,800 yen. I think Pink Charm is a Chinese manufacturer, so don't know how this is going to turn out. Obviously based on the promo art, the shading on the titles look pretty good overall, and the cute is a maid cute face expression with hearts in the eyes. Very very cutesy, but also explicit in what you can get on show. 24,800 yen. It's going to be down to the detailing, whether the painting actually lives up to the expectations. Skin is not a company that or figure manufacturer I'm aware of, so I have to see how they turn out. There looks like there's some shading on the maid dress, so if it turns out like that and you get this actual grading from the blacks to like a purple, to show the depth of the shade, then it might be pretty good. Obviously the tight shading looks quite nice overall. You can still see the wrinkles as well in there, so it looks like quite a nice figure overall. For the price, the hair's a bit lackluster though, it's a bit flat, and that's about it. It's not something I would probably get, although I am into my more lewd figures. But this is, I would have to probably see some impersonal pictures on MFC of other people getting these to actually see if it's worth getting. It might cut even cheaper once it's actually released in July 2023. Yurosei Yatsura Lum N10 box Catherine Space collaboration 1/7 by Design Coco. If you've don't know this series, it's pretty much one of the first anime that had ecchi scenes and had a main girl thirsting for an MC. So it's very nostalgic if you're more of a long-term anime watcher. I've not seen the series, but I have heard of it. It is something that's on my watch list, and I think they've just done a new, like a remaster or retelling of the same on Crunchy. I think watch on Crunchyroll. It's currently airing this season, I think. God, I've fallen behind so much on the anime season, so I don't really watch it as much as I should do these days. But it's a very nice figure actually overall. In terms of, well, the base is very obviously quite stunning. It does match the art style of the actual original anime quite closely actually, especially with her hair shading, so I think they've done a very faithful recreation of her in figure form. So she's probably, if you're really like the series and considering they didn't do many figures for the big such an old series, and then they're redoing. They've done a new release, or I guess, or relaunch of the series, or remaster of it. Currently airing. It makes sense for them to do more figures for this. So it actually looks quite good. The hair looks very nice. The shading on this little pixie, or I think that's the MC actually, on the hair is very nice. But yeah, it matches the art style, so it's quite nice. 29,370 yen. Might be worth it. It's not something I would be personally interested in. I'm not attached to the series in any way, but it's a very nice figure, and it does capture the art style very well. And mini figure Urusei Yatsura Lum uniform version by Plum for 2,330 yen. If you don't want to go all out into the series but still want a figure represented in your collection of Urusei, then it would probably be worth getting. This is probably quite nice, very simple design, and obviously it's not a lot of money really. It's probably 2,000, about right. I would say about right for what you're getting. At least you're showing support for the figure, for the anime, and supporting the artist, so showing interest in that there is a demand for Urusei figures, so you might get some more prototypes made out if more of these other Urusei figures sell well. For the price, you can't really moan too much, to be honest, so it's quite good. Not something I'd be, again, not something I would want. I'm not particularly fond of, or don't have much ties to that, to the anime. But the hair shading is very representative of what's actually in the anime art style. So, and the face looks quite good actually as well overall. But yeah, it's a very simple figure, so it's not going to be obviously overly detailed for the price. B-style Komi-san wa Komiyushu Detsu Shoku Komi bunny version on quarter scale for 38,500 yen. This is a very nice figure. Very basic posing, but she is giving that more shy and covering herself expression, which matches what her personality in the anime. So it does, and the hair shading looks fantastic on this. As long as the final product actually shows up like that. If you're really like the anime series, then it would probably be worth getting, especially if you're into your freeing figures. And she has a lot of eyes on her. She's very big in the waifu material lists. I would say are quite high up on there for a lot of anime watchers. So she would probably be worth it, and she'll probably go up in value most likely. We'll just have to see what the demand's like for her. She's still up for pre-order. Went up for pre-order on the 26th of Jan, and I'm currently recording on the 5th of February. So, they haven't sold out, but with it being a freeing figure and their price going up, 38,500 yen is quite a lot. So it depends on whether you can actually afford to get her or not. You'd probably have to have quite. There are a lot of other figures of her, so you might not need a quarter scale bunny figure version of her unless you're doing a shrine or dedicated shelf display of her in your collection. But it's quite nice overall. But it's a box standard freeing figure. Nendroid Blue Lock Nagi Seshiru by Good Smile, 5,620 yen. It's an Nendroid from Black Lock, sorry. So it's got quite a few expressions. It's an Nendroid. I'm not big into Nendroids, but as you can see, it's got a couple of you get 3 faceplates. So if you like this character, Nagi, then you should possibly get him. By Orange Rouge. Don't know what how that would turn out. The hair shading looks quite good overall, but it's white, so just add some greys and you're good. It's not too bad, but yeah, it's an Android. Nendroid, the greatest demon lord, is reborn as a typical nobody arena for 7,300 yen. This anime I quite enjoy. I don't think I would actually get a Nendo of it. I'm not big into Nendos. It's by Good Smile Company. But the expressions match Irina in the anime, and it's very cutesy. But yeah, I get quite a good sword. So the accessories probably might be a bit limiting for the price, 7,300 yen. But if you prefer to get Nendos rather than full scales, then it's for the value is probably not pretty good. You're getting quite obviously a lot of hair detail for it in there as well. So the pricing, even though it's gone up compared for a lot of Nendos, you're still getting some sort of discount from regular price was 8,700. So you're at least getting a bit of a discount for it, and it won't be too expensive to ship overall. So it's pretty good Nendo overall. You can't really go wrong with Nendos by Good Smile. They always do a good job. Got a couple of Miss Kobayashi Dragon Maids, S Toru complete figure, and a S Kana complete figure. So Toru is 25,300 yen. Obviously a bit of a bigger figure with the dragon tail, and Kana is a bit more of a simplest, small scale figure, 20,240 yen, both by Union Creative. It's good to get them as a set if you're big into Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid into the series, and you haven't got any figures. and you want made versions of them, that you can see them paired there. They do suit each other quite well, having them as a pair. Not seen the series, so but I can, based on what I'm seeing here, it's the art style matches. The shading looks quite good on the actual maid dress as well, and the tail looks obviously very nice on Toru, and the hair shading is quite good, and the facial expression looks, I think, spot on from what I have seen of the anime. And Kana is, she's adorable as normal. The shading's not as hard, and it looks like they've actually got folded creases molded into the dress, and makes it a bit more natural, at least for the shading aspect. So, and she's obviously a bit cheaper, or quite a bit cheaper. It's 20,000 yen compared to 25,000 yen for them, but you're looking at 46,000 yen basically for the pair if you wanted both of them. If you'd want them, get them. They're quite nice figures overall. It's Union Crow. They've been at it for a while. They can be a bit hit and miss though, but the shading looks quite good on the dress overall. So they're good figures. Movie: The Quintessential Quintuplets, Utsuki Nakano, floral dress version on the 7th by eStream. This is 29,000 yen. So for an eStream figure, it's actually pretty well priced. Obviously, it's not got one of the massive dramatic bases. It's still got a nice base, but I think the concentration's more on the figure itself, and the dress looks on point and amazing with the little gold. Basically, the gold inlays on there, and the detailing looks amazing. The flower dress, everything looks on point. The hair shading is a bit kind of flat, but there is some. But yeah, it's if you're looking to get, they're guessing they're probably going to be doing all 5 of them hopefully in this set, and looks like you might be able to match the bases if they do a full set of all 5 girls for the Quintessential Quintuplets. I've not seen the movie yet, but the figure looks very nice, and for a eStream produced figure, it's quite a good price these days as well, especially figure prices going up. It's still 30,000 yen, so still a bit pricey, but I think as long as eStream can nail the quality control, it will be worth your money. A couple of To Love Ru Ginga Art Expedition figures, one of Momo, one of Golden Darkness, and one of Mikan Yuki. So they might be doing all of the girls in this style. We'll have to see. And they're all 27,500 yen by Union Creative. I think for what they are, they're very simple. Probably not. I think they might actually go down in price later on, really, or on release. They might be actually a bit cheaper. There seems to be a bit of an uptick in To Love Ru figures past few months. So there are ones that are out there, or that have come out, that are, or maybe even up for pre-order, that are better, more dynamic, better detailing for probably not much more than this. Although with figures prices going up, we don't know where the ceiling's going to be this year. Still early in the year, but for what you're paying, you can get figures that are much nicer for less, and you might even be able to find some of the older figures from the To Love Ru series are pre-owned that are much better figures than this for that price, to be honest, maybe if you hunt around long enough. So between all of them, they're quite nice figures. Obviously they're in like a nightgown, so if you like the series and you just full on into To Love Ru, then get them, but I'm not for the price. I reckon they'll get down in value, I reckon, when they're released. I think these are more of a dud for Union Creative, unfortunately, than a win. Katie Cal Bufuryu, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Sally swimsuit version, and a Maple swimsuit version by Kadakawa. Seems like Kadakawa are doing a lot of these figures that are part of their figure line, part of the anime release lineup that are swimsuit themed. I guess it's a new theme going on with having swimsuit releases and scale figures. They're quite nice. If you haven't got any and you like the swimsuit aesthetic and you're going for a swimsuit aesthetic in your collection, then these will probably be worth getting. The anime is very nice, very good actually. I enjoy watching it. So, and it's Kadokawa, so the quality is going to be there. The shading and paint job looks fantastic overall. Can't really moan. Base is at least semi-dynamic with the water. The water effect actually looks really good on both of them. So yeah, they're nice figures, just not something I would be interested in getting. 26,130 yen each. Probably they might be worth the price, but you'd have to be into the aesthetic really, and to add them to a collection, I think. Harvest Year Happy Spring Festival version, 1/6. Does not have a brand. It's my Ray's Dream. This figure looks quite nice actually. It's a China dress. She's obviously covering her posterior, but also like winking at you, so the expression's actually quite alluring. And the Chinese dress style with the up to 3/4 length thigh highs look very seductive and looks like a very nice figure. We'll have to see how the paint job it turns out, but for 19,250 yen, so I'm guessing Ray's Dream's another Chinese manufacturer, so there could be big delays on this possibly. But the base looks quite nice overall. I think this just gets placed there when she gets actually obviously mounted to this branch. So the paint job actually looks very nice. Probably would be something to pick up, especially if you're doing a Chinese themed dress collection or a shelf that has some Chinese dress figures. But we have had quite a few come out over the past year, and there's going to be some more coming out over the next that I've seen. Possibly coming out of Chinese dress figures, so there's a big push for Chinese dress figures, it looks like, as well. So you can add it to your collection, and for 19,250 yen, I think, as long as the final product is close or identical to these promo picks, the man is worth the money, no problem. Right set Humi Saki 1/5 complete figure by don't know who actually makes that. It's going to be a Chinese manufacturer, but this figure is the best figure I've seen this week, from the past 2 weeks. This would be one I have pre-ordered for it, just because, well, there's two versions of her. There's her with this more exaggerated, much better base, standing on some skulls and like the clear blood effects and like these blood flowers, I guess you could say, going on, or there's her just standing on some skulls, which is very basic. At the end of the day, you get the figure for both of these. So one was by M edition, so you get the figure for both 37,600 if you just want the more basic base and you want just her. She looks fantastic. Or you can pay 55,300 yen and get the one that I personally think is better overall. I think you get the sword can come out on both. Or is it not? Yes, you can. So the sword can come out on both versions. That's all right then. So the figure itself is identical. So Saki herself is identical between both. It's just the base changes. You're paying extra for the base, and I'd say the base is worth it. And obviously, she does expose herself, so that she's cast off. But this figure looks amazing. The base, as long as it looks like that, in terms of the resin, clear resin blood, or because that's going to be a resin or some sort of acrylic that they're using there, and then these blood flowers look really good. So as long as the paint job on the base looks on point, and matches her level of paint job on her clothes, she will be a stunner and will be probably in my top 5 figures of 2023. She gets released 2024. So next year, but she'll be up there in my top figures of all time, and it's a demon girl. So if you're into demon girls, then definitely get her. Very nice figure. Definitely one to order. I can see why she went up. She was on the top pre-orders on Amiami for a few days consecutively in the top 10. Katie Cole, that time I got reincarnated as a slime Milim Nava wedding bikini version. They've done some image updates on her. I'm guessing to appease some of the feedback people gave of her. I don't know what that feedback would have been, but this is the first time I've seen her. These wedding swimsuit style figures are coming quite popular, or by Kadika are becoming quite prominent. It looks like we might get more of these coming out, so you might actually be able to do a full display of these sort of swimsuit wedding dress figures. But the veils are quite nice overall. The shading on her tights, although it's very silky, looks quite nice. And for 23,500 yen, if you're a big fan of Milim, then I'll get her. It's quite good, a figure overall actually. Now we go on to the second week, the last week, what's been released, starting at 30th of Jan. Ushimsme first try at cosplay illustration by Pop QN16. Daiki Kogyo is the manufacturer for 18,800 yen. It's a cowgirl bikini. There's not much else to be said really. The paint job looks pretty good overall. It's cast off. Yeah. 18,000 yen, good price for a figure these days. Face looks quite good. Pose is obviously a bit more dynamic, but yep, as you can cast off. So it's a pretty good figure. No complaints here. Nakujara illustration, The Chan complete figure by Union Creative. This is a very simple figure, so you're probably buying it if you know the character, or you like if the art she comes from. Have they got a sample of the art? No, they haven't. Detailing on the wings is quite good. There's a succubus style figure in a bikini. It's a pretty basic pose. Hair looks obviously all over the place, but the shading's basic on her. So 19,000 yen, not too bad, but it's a very basic figure. B-style non-original Anubis bunny version, quarter scale. This is a very much more unique take on the bunny style that Free have done. And the gold with the blues look really nice, especially with the tan skin. The hair looks amazing. The paint, it'll be down to the metallic paint, I guess, how the gold turns out at the end, as obviously this is going to be more to the reflections and the lighting you apply to it, which will make or break how good she looks. So you probably have to have pretty good lighting in your display cabinet to actually have on display, but the figure itself looks amazing. The blues really go really well with the gold. She looks amazing. 39,600 in. I can see why they're asking a bit more than 33,000. The pose is a bit different. The hair's obviously a lot more it's got a lot more strands and detail going into it. And with the headpiece as well, there's a lot more effort that you could tell Free put into this. And you got the ankle gold jewelry bits as well, just above the heels. So this looks like a very nice figure to get. November 2023 release. I would be tempted to get it, but the second half this year is quite tight on my pre-orders. Although I might just pre-order her and just see if she gets delayed. Freeing have done quite a lot of delays, and just have to see if some more of them get delayed over the next few months, which then give me hopes that she will get delayed, and then I'll be able to get her. So, but very nice freeing figure, and I think worth the 39,600 yen. Eden Ritter Glenze X, the Fallen Sword, Ashtorath, 1/5 scale figure. It's cast off by Literary. They've done a couple of other cast off figures, and this is thick. Yeah, I think you have to have particular tastes to want this figure. Not for me, or if you've played the game. I think it's based off of a game, or most likely a game, or some sort of doujinshi or something like that maybe. I'll have to check, do a bit more research into this. She does make you want to do a bit more research into where she comes from, which might be positive or negative. 34,000 yen though is quite a lot for a. She's a 1/5. I do have a 1/5, but she's thicker than my 1/5 that I have, and don't. Detailing's pretty flat. Obviously, there's not much in terms of the shading. You're buying her for her actual figure, her thickness, and the pose. So the pose she's in. That's basically all you're buying her for, really. If you're into this, you'll get her. If you're not, you won't get her. The price might put you off though, as you can get other figures that are like this by Vertex, or a couple of other manufacturers that do these sorts of things. Native figures. This approach is like some native figures on release from like last year. So it's quite good. It's a good figure, I think overall. But if you're gonna want it, you're gonna want it. Yoju Senki Tanya Degirush Chuff 1/7 by Furyu. This for 33,000 yen. That's quite expensive for what you're getting. Obviously, she's very small in terms of the figure scale herself. Her clothes got quite good detailing and very well detailed. The expression matches obviously how she is portrayed in the anime, but the seat she's on is very nice. I think you're probably paying like 8,000-9,000 yen just for the seat, really, as well. I don't think it's worth 33,000 yen. And with it being Furyu, they might just do an abundance, a quantity of these on the market, and then the price will probably just tank. So I would probably hold off on actually getting this. November 2023, yeah, I'd hold off. It's not a bad figure overall, but the price is just not there. Artifacts, My Hero Academia Mirko, 1/8. I think that when people saw the prototype, there's a lot of people that actually do want this figure. And with My Hero Academia series, with what she goes through, just to say, not to spoil anything, there's a lot of interest in figures for her. And this shows definitely her power to her and what she does in My Hero Academia. So it's a very nice figure, and for 16,000 yen is actually a really good price. I think some people might prefer, it's just a nice figure. The muscle definition and the shading around there is very nice, very well done. The hair is a bit bland, but I think they concentrate more onto obviously the actual body proportions rather than doing the hair, since the hair's is just pretty bland and white anyways in the anime. So 16,630 yen is a very nice figure. I think 1/8 she's on the small side, and obviously the base will prop her up in terms of making her on level, I guess, with some 1/7 scales. But she's probably about where most 1/8s will end up. I would reckon will be the 16,000 to 20,000 yen mark in the coming over the next year or so. But it's a very nice figure. Lucuria Princess Connect Redive Shizuru Summer 1/7 scale figure by Mega House. This is a 27,200 yen. This is a very nice figure. There's a lot of extra detailing going on. Base looks really good. The sound effect I quite like, as long as they can obviously do the paintwork to this standard on the final product. I think it'll suit the figure very well. She's very nice. I like the hat as well. There's a lot of detailing in the hat, and in the on her bikini, and the flowers as something extra that you normally wouldn't see on a bikini style figure. It's just obviously you'd normally just be a basic bikini, so it's a very nice figure. 27,000 yen, probably worth it. It's a good figure, a good buy if you get her. Atelier Riser Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. Riser Atelier Series 25th Anniversary version. 1/7 by amiami. So this is actually by amiami, and there's two versions with different bases. So you got just a riser sitting on a barrel, and then there's the more expensive version for 27,900 yen with this portal window and all this extra stuff coming out from the back behind her. The backdrop looks very nice. I think both figures you could argue are worth the price. Visor's very they've got her on point really in terms of her art style and depicting her figure and whatnot. So I have no complaints about her. She's basically perfect in terms of the paint job looks spot on, and everything looks great with her. The barrel is quite a nice prop as well. It's different. It's just having her standing there on the base, and obviously having this octagonal base is a bit different as well compared to just having the square or round base. So it's quite good. For 21,000 yen, probably worth it. But I think a lot of people will be going for this and getting her with the extra backdrop. Because they want all this, the detailing as well. If they can match all this detailing on these extra backdrop item set pieces, it will really be a good centerpiece for your figure collection. This one's 27,980 yen, but both are great by amiami. So I'd definitely get one of them if you're huge into Riser or have not got a Riser figure already pre-ordered, or if you have, maybe cancel that and get this. Hololive Production Shirogane Knoll swimsuit version 1/7 by Good Smile Company. This is Hololive that I'm not familiar with. 1/7 in a swimsuit. Again, so we've had quite a couple of swimsuits now over the past 2 weeks released. So if you're doing swimsuits, then and you're doing a display of swimsuits, it'll be possibly worth getting into her, especially if you're into the Hololive, the VTubing style following. I'm not, but she looks great. The swimsuit looks amazing on her, and the ring looks quite good as well. Looks it's shiny, glossy. It's not, you couldn't really do much shading on that with it, how glossy it is, but the paint job looks spot on, and the base, the water splash effect, you're paying 16,430 yen. That's actually a really good price for what you're getting. The detailing looks great, and the base looks amazing and stunning, and it looks like it's a very fun thing, so it'd be a good figure to display in the summer as well, or especially if you do change up your display as we go from term to term throughout the year. But if you don't, then, and you just like swimsuit figures, this is definitely up there as one of the much better swimsuit figures I've seen in a while. So this is a very good price. Okay, that does it for the past 2 weeks. Sorry my voice is a bit bad, got a bit of a sore throat, and sorry I've got to do 2 weeks sort of jammed together like this. So that's it for the past 2 weeks to get you caught up with amiami releases. Please do subscribe, and do give me some feedback of if you'd like doing this weekly series, or if you prefer me to do like a month-long series, do it monthly instead, and just pick some of the better ones that I think are worth possibly following. rather than just doing sort of everything or getting a majority of the scale figures at least. I do sort of avoid the Nindos and the other figures that I don't really see personal interest in. Thank you very much and have a good rest of the week.